You wake up and reach for your phone. It's a good phone. The brand is Chinese. So is your TV, your fridge, and the car in your driveway. You've never heard the words Samsung or LG or Hyundai. In this world, no such companies were ever born. On the wall by the stairs is a photo of your grandfather in uniform, 1951, Korea. In this world, that's a war America lost. He doesn't talk about it the way the movies do in your world. There's no proud stalemate here. There's a peninsula that went red, all of it, and stayed that way. This is America, 2026, and it comes down to one landing in 1950 that in your world turned the whole war around. Your world calls it Inchon, a daring gamble behind enemy lines that saved the South from being overrun. Your grandfather was part of that landing. In your world, it works, and he comes home to a country that held the line. Here, your grandfather's landing is called off. Too risky, the tides too dangerous, the enemy too dug in. The gamble that would have saved him never happens. Without it, the defenders your grandfather was fighting beside are overrun. The line breaks. And with China pouring across the border, there is nothing left to hold. Your grandfather doesn't storm a beach. He covers a retreat, to the sea, and on to the last ships out. He never talks about those ships. By 1953, there is no South Korea to defend. The whole peninsula is one red state, a client of Beijing and Moscow, sealed like its northern half was in your world. And here's where it reaches your kitchen, because the South that never survived was the South that, in your world, built half your house. No Samsung means no phones and chips from that corner of the world. The global electronics you grew up with came from somewhere else, later, and slower. No Hyundai, no Kia. The affordable cars that filled your world's driveways were never made. Your driveway holds something else, from somewhere else. No K-pop, no Korean film, none of the culture that swept your world. On this side, that whole voice never got a stage. It was born mute, behind a wall. Your phone still works, of course. The world still has technology. It just grew from different roots, at a different speed, wearing different names. And the peninsula itself? 80 million people live there, behind one of the hardest borders on Earth. Your grandfather's war decided every one of their lives. Somewhere over there is a city that, in your world, is one of the richest on the planet. Here, it's gray, planned, and closed. Same streets, different century. Your father grew up hearing that Korea was a defeat, not a miracle. No rise from the ashes, no success story. Just a war the family lost and a country that vanished. And now you're back at the stairs. The 1951 photo. The Chinese phone in your hand. The driveway with the unfamiliar car. Now you know why. One landing in 1950 that, in your world, was dared, and here was called off. In your world, that gamble paid off. A country survived, rose from nothing, and ended up in your pocket, on your desk, in your driveway. So here's the question. How much of your everyday world was built by a country that only exists because one landing worked? Tell me in the comments which world you'd rather wake up in, and I'll show you the next one.